We are HTLA Radio 1. You will lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. We will add your distinctiveness, your advertisers, and your sponsors to our own. Resistance is futile.
Now, the man who is just permanently banned from Facebook because of his opinion, we give you Crash Jesus! Oh, too loud, Crash Talkers. Oh yeah, we're cranking it up today. We got some stuff going down, don't we? Yes, we do. We've got one heck of a tasty treat for you here tonight on Crash Talk at HTLA Radio Uno. Yes, a little Spanish for my Spanish listeners there, yes? Huh? Yes. It's going to be a heck of a show, so don't touch that dial. Stay firmly fastened in those seats, and we'll be back in just one.
HTLA Radio 1.
HTLA Radio 1 in New York City proudly presents Crash Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, HTLA 97.3 FM in New York proudly presents rock superstar Crash Jesus.
Tonight, let's see, the first story up on tonight's Crash Talk that I'm going to be kind of ripping apart. Do you remember all that terrorism? Yes. War on terror. Yeah. Well, you know, it's not supposed to happen in Canada. That's right. Terroriste du Canada, huh? Well, it was a surprise, even for a journalist, to be driving down Wellington Street, the city's ceremonial thoroughfare, to find oneself swept into the chaotic aftermath of a disaster. The reporter in question, being, of course, Andrew Cohen, writes, "I was rushing to a television studio at mid-morning and passed by the National War Memorial just minutes after the shooting. A soldier was down. Police were closing the streets, stopping traffic, barking orders, brandishing machine guns, fingers on triggers." Okay, Andrew, gonna stop you right there, pal. Okay. First of all, I do need to point out that this news report comes from C-freaking-N-N. Yeah, CNN. Okay, all right.
That was a mistake on my part.
That's a mistake on everybody's part, Louie. Reason I'm stopping right there is because the brandishing machine guns, quote, fingers on triggers, is absolutely 100% unequivocally a lie. Yes, it is. And I'll tell you why. Yours truly, in addition to having an illustrious career in the film and television industry and doing all kinds of amazing things with my life, I also went to Police Academy. Yes, New Westminster, 1999. Go look it up. And I hate to break it to you, but Canadian police never, ever, ever have fingers on triggers. Unless that gun is up, there's a proper sight picture on a particular individual for only certain reasons, because that's what we're trained. Does the finger ever come off the trigger guard and go on the trigger? Thank you. Now, moving on. He said they soon imposed a lockdown lasting until mid-afternoon. It is from that confinement that I began writing this. This is not supposed to happen in Canada, much less Ottawa. It's sleepy, self-absorbed capital. Well, now, why would he say that? Huh? let's see. Where would a place that I would even least expect terrorism to rear its ugly head, if indeed that is what this is? Because I'm not convinced. No. Well, let's see. Cold Lake, Alberta. That place pops into my mind as a place where it would be a lot more unlikely to have terrorism rear its ugly head in Canada. Yeah. The Paw, Manitoba. Huh? The Paw. That's right, Paw. No. The Paw. ThePaw. The Paw, Manitoba. That's somewhere else I would highly expect no terrorism to ever be found. Right. Okay. Ottawa? Yeah, pretty likely. Actually, I'm surprised something hadn't happened long before now, but that's just me. He says sentries do not die on duty at the National War Memorial. In this, our season of remembrance, politicians do not cower in the committee rooms of Parliament. It is a Gothic hallway ring with gunfire. Sharpshooters do not take up position on oxidized copper rooftops nearby looking for men with long rifles. I wonder why the hell they were doing that. This is Canada, he says, once known as the Peaceable Kingdom. Now we have learned, like so many other countries... So many, really? That terrible, unsentimental reality of the 21st century can indeed happen here. When a gunman killed that lone soldier in front of the memorial today, when he and possibly his accomplices, at the moment we do not know whether, who, or how many, then swept through the front doors of Parliament of Canada and began firing, something changed here. When hundreds of parliamentarians gathering in their weekly party caucuses pushed leather chairs and tables against the doors and barricaded them inside their rooms and offices, something changed here. And when the city centre was locked down and a perimeter thrown up around the parliamentary precinct and beyond, confining thousands to their offices and shops, something changed here. God, I hate the way this guy writes. It's too much cliche to say, as many surely will, that Canada has lost its innocence today. Yeah, buddy, you're way off there. Canada is surely not innocent. A nation that marched into the maw of 2 world wars and left 100,000 of its sons in Europe understands a few things. That's particularly true this time of the year when Canadians wear red poppies on their lapels until November 11th, Remembrance Day. What we might say, though, is that Canada has lost its ignorance today, and perhaps a good part of its complacency, too. Yes, because Canada needs to go send troops in other people's countries now. Yes, that's the answer. Wow. Reporters are morons. I'm just going to stick that out there. Actually, I don't have to stick that out there. Reporters are morons. That's not a statement that any of you are unfamiliar with. You all know it. Yes. All right. The country is now chillingly aware of these bad things that can happen, even in the seat of its democracy. Many of us thought it could not or would not happen. In 147 years, this democracy, we have never had a revolution. We've never had a civil war or a foreign invasion. Abroad, we have not fought wars of conquest, never had colonies, and we never fought alone. Man, this guy is stupid. We never had colonies. We are a colony, you idiot. Canada, colony. United States, colony. Look it up. Wow, the guy doesn't even know frickin' history. Never mind. I'm sorry. CNN had, no better reporting on this than, they must have sent this guy to the Canadian dealio because it's Canada and who cares. That's probably what this is. He says, ours is an open and diverse society, one of the highest levels of immigration in the world. It may be throughout ourselves impervious to pathologies and prejudices from home or abroad. Not here, not us. Then again, why should Canada be immune? Canadians fought in Afghanistan. We're still there, by the way. Member of NATO and a historic ally to the United States in every single freaking conflict that they've been involved in for the last almost 100 years. Earlier this month, our parliament voted to join the air campaign against the Islamic State in Iraq. this week or next, our 3 warplanes will go into action there. But come on, gang, get with me here. That was a joke. Our 3 warplanes? Actually, I'm not kidding. They've probably got about 3. The Canadian Navy has got about 6, and they're all pre-World War II boats, and kind of get laughed at the naval games. But anyway, moving on. We should not be surprised, he says. There have been ominous signs a plot was followed a few years ago to bomb Parliament and behead the Prime Minister. Yeah, and rightly so. And here, asking a question from, a good old Canadian who's been out of the country for almost 5 years now, what is that idiot still doing as Prime Minister? Harper? Still? Are you kidding me? What does he get, like 7 terms? He's been Prime Minister since I was like 28. I'm 47 now. How is this guy? What? Whatever. Moving on. More recently, there have been increasing reports of, quote, radicalized, end quote, Canadian Muslims joining jihadists in the Middle East. Canadian Muslims! Radicalized!
That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, no, it wasn't. Louis, you didn't do it.
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Yes, you can. Wow. I think everybody's got more things to do than pick apart my show for cussing. Yes, those radicalized Canadian Muslims, there's what? Well, let's see. Our Air Force has got 3 planes. Our Navy has got 6 boats. I'm pretty sure the radicalized Canadian Muslims must be under 10. Oh, man. If what happened here is in fact an organized terror attack, you bloody Really? Really? Wow, you're going to compare yourself... You got the freaking balls, Canada, to compare yourself to the United States and New York. You're going to say organized terror attack? This whole thing is absolute BS. You infer there's possible reports of multiple shooters. That this happened when this thing was going on. 5 minutes after that soldier, that sentry, was on the ground getting cold. 5 minutes later, there were reports coming out, oh, there's multiple shooters. Yeah, I got a multiple shooter for you. It's in my pants. There's no multiple shooters. There's no coordinated, organized terror attacks. I'm sorry about the one soldier who died. That is nowhere near the 3,000 in New York City in 2011, so don't even use those words together in a sentence there, Mr. Reporter Guy. Radicalized Canadian Muslims, organized terror attacks. Man, what have they got you doing covering the Canadian dealio? Dude, you should be down covering Ebola, 'cause it's everywhere. You're missing out. You'd be awesome doing the Ebola stuff. Sooner I'm off this rock, the better. Coordinated, organized terror attacks. I can tell you, America, and the rest of the world, this is laughable. This is an absolute joke. In fact, if there wasn't an individual who actually lost his life here, wow. He goes on to say, unlike the United States, Canada has little violent crime. Really? Where are you getting your stats on that now, Mr. Reporter Man? Let me give you his name again. Andrew Cohen. You know, we Canadians and Canada excels the violent crime statistics only up into guns, you moron. Yes, because in Canada, we don't take a gun to you for saying something. In Canada, we don't take a gun to you for sleeping with our wives. In Canada, we don't take a gun to you for kicking our dog. We lay a beat down on you. And the severity of the beat down is equal to the severity of the infraction. And I can tell you for a fact, sir, there is a great number of statistics for violent crime in Canada. The difference being, of course, that it's actually violent and not fatal. If you're ever in doubt, watch the 1971 hockey series between Team Canada and Team Russia. I'll show you all you need to know about Canadians right there in that series there, bye. Yeah. Beat the crap out of you, not shoot you. Sorry. Bullets are too expensive. But
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Canada has little violent crime, according to this idiot. It is among the safest of industrialized countries. Murders, even mass slayings, can and do happen in Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. It's 3 largest cities, but they're unusual. Right, because, as I said previously, we beat the snot out of them. So that falls under the category of violent crime there, by the way. Now, Ottawa, in case many of you don't know, because you probably don't, even I didn't know this, and I'm Canadian, Ottawa is Canada's 4th largest city. It's a government town. It is Canberra in Australia or Sacramento in California. It is not London, Paris, or Rome. It's a regular place whose mayor thinks that replacing or crumbling public libraries or building light rail years after other cities in Canada have done both is a bold idea. That's some fair perspective there. He says, so it's jarring, alarming, and sad that this has happened here, of all places, but it was naive to think that a country of 35 million people, oh boy, 10% of the United States, you go Canada, on the way to war in Iraq would not face this kind of violence one day. Now we have. Our long, sweet season of ignorance is over. Wow. And that's the story. That's this is not supposed to happen in Canada. And, well, I guess something else I got to break to Cohen, too, is that, because we're allies with the United States, and we've been in every major conflict that the allies have been called upon for any military action with the United States for, like I said, almost 100 years now, kind of naive is to think that nothing would happen in Canada. I hate to break it to you guys, but ISIS and Al-Jihad and Al Jazeera, that's not a terrorist. That's actually a guy. No, it's not a guy. No, that's Al Jazeera. He lives in Wisconsin. But no, Al Jazeera, the news agency. Yeah, and wow, I'm just rambling here. This is stupid, and I'm ticked off, and I don't want to swear. That's really it. I don't want to swear. I'm just fighting that urge to swear. Not that I haven't before on Crash Talk, but it's such a pain in the butt to label the shows explicit and all the rest of that good stuff. So I'm going to go for our first commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have, more on that, but more on Washington. Be back in 2, gang.
You're listening to Crash Talk with Christopher John Taylor, a.k.a. Crash Jesus, on HTLA Radio 1, New York.
The apocalypse is coming. Will it be aliens, zombies, or a global financial meltdown? Whatever it is, you need to be prepared. Get your complete apocalypse kit at Ammunition. Contains foodstuffs and alcohol for 3 months. A massive array of armaments. Water purifier so you can drink your own urine. And cyanide pills so you can go out like a man. Don't dial 911. Dial 357. Ammunition. Protecting your rights.
If only the world was less like this.
I could use a smoke.
Hey, put that out!
And more like this.
I could use a smoke.
You murderer! I might have children one day!
Smoking kills, unless you kill first. If you're around a smoker, you will die. Smokers may look relaxed and like they're having fun. Don't believe it. Vote yes on Proposition 421. Let's outlaw smoking everywhere, even in people's homes, and allow honest citizens to legally kill anyone who smokes. Let's live in a world without smokers. Prohibition works. Let's prove it. Let's move up the food chain. It's time to smoke the smokers. Vote yes on Proposition 421.
You want your kids to be safe, so you give them a mobile phone. What are they going to do when they get attacked? Throw it at someone? Why not force the state to keep us all protected by arming everybody? The senile old lady in her home, the 3-year-old on the playground, the priest in his church. We think everybody should carry weapons at all times. That way nobody gets hurt. It's a proven fact. Where there's more guns, there are less shootings. Vote yes on Proposition 45. Mandatory concealed carry safe for everybody. The nuclear deterrent won the Cold War. Let's use the same logic and win the war on crime. Proposition 45. Teach your kids to protect themselves.
The event movie of the year everyone is talking about.
You're just a virus. You're not real.
I'm your mother, stupid.
A group of people that think the whole world is trapped in a computer.
We can't get out!
Hurry! Stick your hard disk inside my drive!
I can't! My hard disk crashed!
Reboot it!
The Mainframe. What happens when 5 college students take LSD and discover the truth?
Ah! Your face is a big pixel!
And they have to make the decision of their lives.
What's it gonna be? Yes or no? 1 or 0?
The Mainframe. It's real.
The Mainframe!
Coming to theaters this Friday. Rated PS for Pretty Stupid.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
Now, the man who is just permanently banned from Facebook because of his opinion, we give you
Yeah. Thank you very much. Good night. All that good stuff. I love that. That was kicking. It's got a whole CSI Miami thing going on there. It's got the whole Peter Townsend Who thing happening. It's just awesome. And then, of course, there's that, very, very sexy announcer voice guy. Isn't he something? Ha-ha! Yeah.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
I know.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yes. Nobody told you to talk.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Yeah, all righty.
I lived in Greenwich Village for a while when I first started out as an actor.
Well, thank you, Louie. Stop drinking. Ha-ha! Anywho, speaking of drinking, tonight is brought to you, of course, by the fine... the fine, beautiful flavors of the Tim Hortons blends. And also tonight's show is...
powered by Procast.
Thank you, Kate. Yes, it is. Procast Global Incorporated. Moving on to the second segment here of Crash Talk. Now, this is... I'm including this because the first bit that we've gone through here about the whole Canada shooting thing was funny enough, like funny, wow. But now we're moving into something else that's well, to me, it kind of dumbfounding. like what? You're doing what? Okay, but I think maybe you could probably do some more constructive stuff with your taxpayers' money, United States government. Holy crap. Yes. Washington, D.C., monitoring the Canada situation. Yes, they're monitoring the situation. Yes, I called the White House, actually, to just confirm that they were actually watching the Canada situation. And I recorded the call, and, of course, this was their official comment. And there you have it.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Yes, it should, Louis. It should.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
No, you don't. And President Barack Obama should not be watching the Canada situation. There is no situation. Nothing to see here. Move along. The one soldier who was shot at Canada's National War Memorial, located across from the Parliament buildings, has died. The gunman was shot and killed on the scene inside Parliament Hill's centre block. President Barack Obama spoke to Canada's Prime Minister Stephen Harper, on the phone Tuesday afternoon. I have a recording of that phone conversation as well. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Harper. The president offered any assistance Canada needed in responding to these attacks. Geez, if I was Harper, I would have said, well, you want to send a couple $100 million our way? You know, we know that you just print it off down there at Fort Knox or wherever the heck you print it off, and it's not actually worth anything, but, you know, we could probably buy some cool stuff with it in Europe or something, hopefully, you know, before the Europeans figure out, oh, geez, I don't think this is worth any money. But anyway, I'll move along. Prime Minister Harper thanked the president. The recording you just heard, that was him thanking him. The two leaders discussed the assault and agreed to continue coordinated efforts between their governments moving forward. Really? What are you going to do? What? This is going to be funny. Coordinated efforts. Okay. Well, the Americans are bombing the crap out of Syria for no real reason, thanks. And now Canada's joining in and bombing Syria for no real reason with our 3 planes. Yeah. See, I can see being allies in an actual war. This crap that's going on in the Middle East and Afghanistan and all this, that's not war. It's not war. It's occupation for oil. It's occupation for spreading the democracy around. It's occupation for something, but it's certainly not a war. No. And you've got some radical psychos out there like we have here in the United States and here in Canada, and I'm sure there's radical psychos down in Mexico and probably some more in South America. And, well, geez, really, there's psycho-radicalists all over the world, isn't there? Yeah. Let's maybe look at mental health globally, folks. Let's maybe throw some money that way. Maybe that's what Harper would have gained by getting 300 or 400 million U.S. pieces of paper, because then he could have, funded more mental health stuff. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Yeah. Later, that yesterday afternoon, the president told pool reporters that it is still unknown whether the broader network or plan was behind the shooting. So in other words, 2 days after the incident of the lone shooter killing the soldier and going into Parliament and, yes, disappearing like a magician. Ooh, it's magic. Yes, there's a broader plan at work, clearly, because nothing else happened. And, yeah. Right, yes. He added that these attacks serve as a reminder to remain vigilant when dealing with unnecessary violence or terrorists. Yes. Man. I don't know about you all, but I'm pretty bored and done with all this. You know what? They did 9/11, did a masterful job. Oh, but it wasn't Islamic terrorists, by the way. No. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You can ask any of my conspiracy theorist friends. All of them will tell you I'm not, because I don't buy into that crap. But I know well-orchestrated military operations when I see them. I know construction, demolition of buildings when I see it. So, while 9/11 was coordinated, yes, it was not the work of stinking terrorists and Osama bin Laden and all that good crap. The president says, quote, "It's very important, I think, for us to recognize that when it comes to dealing with terrorist activity, Canada and the United States has to be entirely in sync." Yes, that's why we're going to take over Canada and just expand the United States to 53. Yes, why not? Yeah, there you go. Then we can finally get Stephen Harper out of his damn seat. Ha ha! The president went on to say, "We have in the past, and I am confident we will continue to do so in the future, be entirely in sync." Secretary of State John Kerry, yes, the one who ran against McCain and lost, was also briefed on the shootings like he was going to be able to do something about it. Yes. Oh, that's good news. Thank you for that information. What am I going to do now? Oh, golf and pool. Yes, let's go. Meanwhile, at the U.S. Capitol, which was the site of a deadly shooting in 1998, police are, quote, monitoring and tracking developments in Canada. But as of now, they haven't modified the regular post-9/11 heightened state of alertness. It's like phoning the girl up at NORAD. Yes, we've got a real-world situation. Canada is under attack. There's a dude with a gun in Parliament. And this is real world. Oh, cool. Well, you see, now that response from the girl at NORAD, that would actually been good for this. You know, because, let's see what ultimately ended up happening. Oh, wait! Parliament security, one dude shot him. Yes, shot him. Boom, done. He's dead. Yes. One Parliament security guy. One old retired RCMP guy. One fat, too many donut-eating dude took him out. One shot, too, by the way. Not 50. Yeah, because at Police Academy in Canada, we're actually trained to hit what we're shooting at. Yes.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, it is. And we hit what we shoot at.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, it is. We're almost done this segment.
That was a mistake on my part.
What, to do this segment or to say that? Yeah. At the U.S. Capitol, at the U.S. Capitol, which was the site of the deadly shooting in 98, police were monitoring and tracking developments in Canada. But as of now, they haven't modified their regular 9/11 post-heightened state of alertness, according to the U.S. Capitol's police spokeswoman, Kim Schneider. Congress is on recess until next month's elections because they have a lot of things to do, like giving millions of dollars away at charity balls and hanging around golf courses. Though the Capitol remains busy with tourist staff and other workers. So all you potential terrorists out there, Congress, go hang out there. There's tourist staff and other workers you can have at and increase the state of awareness. Yes. Wow. Across the Potomac River, security near Arlington Seminary? Really? They pray there? No. Arlington Cemetery, geez, I can talk tonight, has increased, specifically at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Yes, because the guy in Canada who killed the soldier sentry at the frickin' museum was clearly, there must have been a released video statement from him, beheading his cat on YouTube, in which he said that they were going to go after all of the unknown soldier memorials. Yes, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Psst. Wow. The U.S. Embassy in Ottawa, located near the Ottawa River next to Parliament Hill, is on lockdown, according to a message posted on Twitter today. A spokesman at the Canadian Embassy in Washington told CNN that they have locked the front door. Ooh, that'll stop them. They have locked the front door, and non-embassy staff must stay out as a precautionary measure. Wow, where the hell is my mind today? I guess, you know what? I know what it is. Bringing my level of consciousness and intelligence down to this freaking level hurts. It's hard to do. And so you're probably asking yourself, well, gee, Crash, why are you doing a show on this, mundane, retarded BS? Well, because it's important. It's important because I need to point out that all of the crap that we are being fed by the media is getting more and more ridiculous pretty much as the days go on. In my third segment tonight, I'm going to get into something else that's going to be... I'm sorry. Not only is it not believable, it doesn't make any sense if you know what the heck it is, and I do, and just the way it's proceeding is much like the plot of a motion picture. Very stupid. You can see it all coming, and it's well, I guess it's entertaining to maybe the sheep out there, but it's really getting to be a problem for some of us more intelligent folk out here that are listening to this stuff every day and asking the question, are you seriously calling this news? And again, I'm not making light of the soldier who died. at the War Memorial in Canada. Absolutely not. My point here today on this show, and my point, well, pretty much always with every one of my shows, is to point out these things and to clarify stuff that is purposely left cloudy, and to add some common sense to some of the absolute ludicrous things that are being stated and reported on in North America today. It's absolutely ridiculous. And those of you across the pond there in jolly old England and Scotland and all the European countries over there that are listening to my voice right now, you got to be understanding exactly where I am. You're probably sitting there going, "What? Have they bloody lost their mind?" Most of us don't have minds. The ones that do haven't lost them, and the media is just retarded. All right? That's for my UK listeners, my European network there. We are not going the full retard.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
CNN, however, I think has caught whatever disease TMZ had and is going mainstream with it.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
And one more time just for fun.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Right, okay. So there you go. Now, in New York, the NYPD, okay, get this. The NYPD added extra security to the Canadian consulate as a precaution. Okay. I got to go for a second commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to go into a scenario that I've gone into before on this show. Actually, it was about a year ago, in which I caused mass casualties with real terrorism, not the ridiculous joke we're hearing about today. We'll be back in 2, gang.
You're listening to Crash Talk with Christopher John Taylor, a.k.a. Crash Jesus, on HTLA Radio 1, New York.
We're gonna take a break. Don't touch that dial.
Too fat and lazy to come pick up a bazooka? Log on and have it at your door the next morning. Log on to ammunition.net. Try our motion-sensitive cluster bombs and shoot-to-maim automated firing gun turrets, which come ready to assemble in 284 easy parts. Ammunition.net also has a full line of generators so you can keep your fridge running and the beer cold through extended apocalypse. Need to stock up fast? The strongest will survive with our all-in-one Y2K kit featuring a tractor-trailer load of lager beer, Redwood cigarettes, and enough firepower and ammunition to level a small country. Jesus, Y2K, it's coming, and you'd better be ready. Log on to ammunition.net now. Protecting your rights online.
My family! He's got a gun!
Someone's breaking into your home. What do you do? Call 911? It takes the police an average of 35 minutes to respond to a 911 call. In that time, a burglar could have his way with your wife, smoke a cigarette, flip her over, and go in for seconds. Don't let the worst happen to you. It is vital that you protect yourself. Do it the patriotic way.
That's right. Ammunition has all the equipment you need to protect your family from the evils of a liberal society. Fixed, mounted, and shoulder-held submachine guns, mortars, surface-to-air, and all manner of heat-seeking missiles. And just in to celebrate the Gulf War, pink and blue tracer bullets so you can protect your family in the dark. Start the week off right on Make My Day Mondays with 2-for-1 on main, strafe, and kill landmines. Got Gulf War syndrome? Get $10 off all machine gun rentals. Hey, if you love your family, prove it with a gun. Ammunition, protecting your rights.
The apocalypse is coming. Will it be aliens, zombies, or a global financial meltdown? Whatever it is, you need to be prepared.
Get your complete apocalypse kit at Ammunition. Contains foodstuffs and alcohol for 3 months. A massive array of armaments. Water purifier so you can drink your own urine. And cyanide pills so you can go out like a man. Don't dial 911. Dial 357. Ammunition. Protecting your rights.
Until death do us part. Gosh, I remember that day like it was yesterday. Jennifer looked so beautiful. I knew I'd love her forever. And then she was driving along a canyon and her brakes went out. Well, I'm moving on now and remarried someone half my age. God, I love banging her. I started my life over with Crimson Executive Spouse Indemnity Services. Life can be uncertain, and you never know when your wife will be tragically taken away. Crimson set me up with a huge life insurance policy on my wife. I can't have her back, but now I have a second home.
I was devastated when I found out my wife was cheating on me, and even more so when she fell underneath the train. I was nowhere near at the time, and my phone records proved that. My life changed forever. I was a real mess for hours. Thankfully, the week before, I'd met with Crimson. Thanks to Crimson, I've had a penile augmentation and am much more confident with women. Thank you, Crimson.
To have a Crimson Planning for the Future kit faxed to you, just dial 1-866-505-CRIM.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
Now, the man who is just permanently banned from Facebook because of his opinion, we give you Crash Jesus!
Oh, yeah. Yes, he's giving you Crash Jesus, baby. That's right. That's right. Here I am in my awesomeness. You are listening to Crash Talk, and it is, it is raining in Central Park and 52 degrees right now, and that's good for corpses. Ha ha! Yes.
That was a mistake on my part.
No.
I think it should be short and sweet.
But
oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Oh, Louis, you are a card. Yes. Well, Canadian terrorism. Yes, it's upon us. It's leaking all over the place. Yeah. Couple of important things here. NORAD. Mm-hmm. Yes, those lovely people with that nice switchboard operator I was telling you about earlier. Oh, cool. Meanwhile, is increasing its alert posture and the number of planes ready to respond to the problem. Well, let's see. On 9/11, they had 2 and sent them 300 miles in the wrong direction. That sounds like maybe a Canadian maneuver. But anyway, according to CNN's Pentagon correspondent, Barbara Starr, NORAD, which provides the air defense over North America, is in continuous contact with Canadian law enforcement, CNN is told. Really? Well, why don't you say what it really is, which is CSIS? Uh-huh. Yeah, because you're not talking to the RCMP detachments, I can tell you that. No. So don't say Canadian law enforcement. Say Canadian Special Police or Secret Police or something like that, which is half-assed more accurate than Canadian law enforcement. Yeah, I don't think you're getting a hold of the Esquimalt Police Department there and yakking it up with them. Quote, we have taken appropriate measures to assure that NORAD is postured to respond quickly if the ongoing situation in Canada should include any effect of aviation, NORAD spokesman Captain Jeff Davis said. Don't you like that? Captain Jeff Davis. Rest easy, America. Captain Davis is on the scene. Stand down. Right. Well, I hate to break it to you, Captain, but your secretary there thinks it's cool. So, yeah, don't expect any important information to come your way any too soon. Now, Washington is already reviewing its approach to security before the shooting in Ottawa. A man shocked the nation last month by allegedly jumping the fence outside the White House. No, not allegedly. I don't care if you haven't done the court case yet. He did it. We seen it on video. Yes, White House video on YouTube and Vimeo. Yes, the whole world has seen it. He didn't allegedly do anything. We saw him do it. Thank you. And making his way into the building before finally being stopped by security around the same time Reports emerged that a man with a gun rode the same elevator as Obama during a visit to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. Why is President Obama at the CDC in Atlanta? That makes you scratch your head. Those incidents prompted the resignation of Secret Service Director Julia Pearson. See, now there we go. We've lost another good one. I had no idea that the Secret Service Director was Julia Pearson. She was that secret. And that's a good thing, isn't it? If you're in the Secret Service, if you're directing them, that nobody knows you. She's perfect. Don't let her go. Hire her back, for God's sake. Jesus. In an interview with Roll Call, published Wednesday morning before the Ottawa shootings, Terrence Gagné, yes, I love those French Gagné names, the former Senate Sergeant-at-Arms, said the U.S. Capitol complex is too open. Yes, it's too open. Only the people that have left their campus open is the Capitol, Garner said. Now I get people wanting to be open, but people have to somehow understand there are constant threats. Yes, constant threats. And if the only way to mitigate the threat is to have an officer chase after a bad guy, you're going to end up having problems. Right. So we must build big, concrete, bomb-proof, 8-foot-thick walls around everything. That's going to make getting to Starbucks a real pain in the butt. Good thing Tim Hortons is open. Ha-ha! So, yes, there you go. The Americans are eagerly watching, yes, the situation unfold in Canada. As Wolf Blitzer would have you believe, there's stuff unfolding. Let's see, the soldier's dead. The guy who shot him's dead. It's all over, but it's 24/7 on CNN, and it's unfolding. Yes, it's an ongoing thing, because in Canada we never just do something and it's done and then we're done. We move on. No. It's unfolding. Takes sometimes weeks or months to unfold stuff in Canada.
That was a mistake on my part.
No. Louis, you did not have anything to do with that. Now, another interesting little tidbit to this whole Canadian gunman thing is now, as if it wasn't screwed up enough in both reporting and in story and in anything else, now the inferences that, well, I'm pretty sure it was Wolf Blitzer that put it out, the shooter must be tied to jihadists. Oh, yes. That is the story now on CNN. Well, the Ottawa gunman had, quote, connections to jihadists. I'm sorry. This is funny. This is fun. And, here it is. Unless, now, I'm going to be fair here. I could be wrong. I'm going to say that right now. I could be wrong. Sure. It's entirely possible that in the last 4+ years since I've left Canada for the beautiful United States and the incredible city that is New York, it is possible, I guess, that everything I've known for the entire 42 years, previously in my existence about Canada has completely been turned on its ear, turned upside down. Police forces are no longer trained to do anything except keep their fingers on triggers, ready to kill everybody, and there's just jihadists teeming all over everything. Yes, that must be what's happened for this story to be anywhere close to being true. But I'm pretty sure that isn't the way it is in Canada. But if you listen to CNN, the Ottawa gunman, quote, had connections to jihadists in Canada who shared a radical Islamist ideology, including at least one who went overseas to fight in Syria. No, he went overseas to die in an explosion from the airstrikes in Syria. Get your reporting right. You, CNN, have said, I don't know how many times, ISIS and ISIL, they're just a small band of 100 men with machine guns in the desert. They used to be in Iraq and Iran, and now they've moved to Syria, and they're hiding out there. And, that was before all the airstrikes. Okay, now they're a highly coordinated terrorist entity that has minions and secret people all over the planet, but mostly centered in Canada. Okay, deep breath. I'm feeling better now. Not a little more Tim Hortons coffee. Yes, it is a little taste of my terrorist homeland. Frickin'. Canadian Foreign Minister John Baird told CNN's Christine Amanpour that there is, quote, no evidence at this stage, you dumb woman, end quote, that Michael Bobo was linked to a wider group or network of jihadists. Okay, Canadian Foreign Minister, no, there is no evidence at this stage that anything you idiots are saying in your media and news coverage of this is true. That's the bottom line right there. There it is. Right there in a frickin' nutshell. Thank you. So I guess Canada hasn't changed in the 4 years that I've been gone. Morons. Quote, he continues to say, there is no evidence at this stage for us to know that. Obviously, there's an investigation going on, and we hope to learn more in the coming days. It was clear that police authorities now have announced that he was acting alone yesterday, he said. Period. Thank you. Acting alone. There it is. No network of jihadists, CNN. No splinter cells of Canadian bomb vest wearing hockey players? No. Get off it. According to 2 U.S. counterterrorism officials, oh, this will be good, Zihaf Babo was connected to Hezbollah through social media. Wow, I'm getting angry. Why? Because, geez, I can go to gmail.com, create a bogus email address. I can go over to Twitter, create a bogus Twitter, and then I can be whoever I want to be. Geez, why don't you guys try going and looking on Facebook and seeing all the celebrities that everybody's friends with? Yes, all those celebrities that have nothing better to do with their day because they don't work 18 hours on a movie set. No, and they don't go off to premieres and events and everything. They don't have lives. No. They sit around on Facebook all day sharing pictures of selfies that the actual celebrities have put out, going out and doing all these things. But no, those are the real celebrities. Get off it. If that is an example of 2 counterterrorism officials of the United States, you're a laughable joke. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this Hezbollah is wanted by Canadian authorities for traveling overseas to fight alongside Islamic fighters in Syria. Yeah, okay. Sure. Yes, the sources said the 2 communicated via social media and internet, but does not appear they were close. Oh, what? That's only because you didn't come across a couple of selfies. Come on. Early indications are that Bobo's connections to either extremists were including extremist sites, a different U.S. source said. Completely unnamed, by the way, because why would we want to name a source when they're effing wrong? The activity was attenuated or limited, the source said, noting it appears so far that Bobo had a low profile. That's got to be a Facebook joke. Low profile. Yeah, you get that, Louis?
That was a mistake on my part.
No, okay. All right, okay.
Sex is only the tip of the iceberg.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. American officials now are reportedly scouring databases and communications for possible links to American-based jihadists. It was one shooter in Canada who's dead now. You're scouring communications and databases for possible links to American-based jihadists? Really? So What, you think the guy was social mediaing with people in the United States? So what are you going to do with them now? Guantanamo Bay? Wow. Other radicalized people, CNN says, who are connected to Bobo, are still believed to be living in Canada. U.S. law enforcement officials said. Really? Because the U.S. law enforcement officials know what the hell's going on in Canada. Wrong. Next window. Officials now have, quote, information that suggests an association with some individuals who may have shared radical views. Yeah, or the guy had friends. And before the break, I said that when we come back, I was going to get into something that would be much more of something that you would do if you were a terrorist wanting to inflict mass damage on the United States. Canada doesn't count. I'm sorry. Stephen Harper, you're just going to have to just suck it up. You're not that important. Sorry. Move on. Next window.
I think it should be short and sweet.
All right. You and I, listener. We are terrorists, and I am your leader. I am Binzak Ya El Taylor. There we go. There's my name. Don't forget it. Binzak Ya Taylor. And your name is, well, whatever. You make up something fun, too, because this is fun, after all. It's freaking so stupid. It's fun. So I tell you, okay, I'm going to need... You're going to be like, oh, Mr. Mahab Taylor, what can we do to inflict mass damage on the United States without costing too much money? Because, terrorists are really budget conscious since they're funded by the American government. But I'll digress. And I say to you, come, let's sit, have a Tim Hortons, and discuss. And over that next half hour, I outline a plan to you whereby I tell you that I need about 7-8 more men, all armed with AK-47s, some smoke grenades, and maybe a couple of knives. That'd be fun. And a sidearm or two. And we'll need a couple of Zodiacs, and Bob's your uncle. Ah, yes, Taylor, but where do we deploy them? Where do we launch our pillars of holy fire against the evil capitalist pigs? And I say to you, my friend, patience. Where is the USS Abraham Lincoln right now? Oh, it is in San Diego, Taylor. Let's go to San Diego. That's a cruise ship spot, isn't it? Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, so we're going to take our Zodiacs. We're going to take our 7 or 8 men. We're going to take our AKs and our guns and our knives, just to be all scary and stuff, and our smoke grenades. And we're going to board a cruise ship that's coming into the harbor. Yes, Taylor, yes, go on. Well, after we do that, some of us are going to go down and take over the engine room. The rest of us are going to go up and take over the bridge. And it's going to be a nice big cruise ship, too. It's going to be one with like 5,000 people on it. The more the better, because it's all in Allah's name, or whoever the hell we're praising these days. And then what we're going to do is we're going to full speed ahead that boat right into the side of that nuclear aircraft carrier. We're going to kill the 5,500 crew and personnel on the aircraft carrier. We're going to possibly have a nuclear explosion because the engine's going to go up. And we're going to kill the 5,000 people on the cruise ship that we're on. And we're going to die too, of course, but that'll be over 10,000 people we'll be killing in Allah's name. That's what we're going to do. And you know what? That aircraft carrier docked doesn't have the protection of the rest of the fleet. No, it doesn't. Minesweepers, no good. Even the phalanx systems, good luck. Yeah, you stop the cruise ship with the phalanx. Go ahead. We're like 120,000 tons or some stupid thing. With 5,000 of your innocent people that I'm killing. See? There you go, right there. There's something I just thought up out of my butt. 10,000 plus people dead. Makes 9/11 look like a joke. And Bob's your uncle. It didn't even cost us too much. Some AKs, some knives, a couple of handguns, and some smoke grenades. And, well, I guess the biggest expense would be the Zodiac. There you go. Oh, so what's the answer going to be then? Are we going to have cruise ship marshals? Huh? Yeah. Where the hell's my drum thing? Badoom-cha. Cruise ship marshals? Get it? See, that's what I'm saying. The bottom line is you can't defend or protect yourself against terrorism because of the nature of what it is. Period. And you can't go and bomb these other countries under the guise of getting some payback for all those terrorists and convincing anybody with any kind of modicum of intelligence that you're actually hitting specific terrorists that you mean to kill and not killing a bunch of babies and women in apartment buildings like you're doing right effing now. Yeah. So there it is. Yeah. Just a little pissed. Sorry. Anyway, I'm not going to go on this Canadian shooting thing anymore. It's a joke. It's ridiculous. And it's over. So CNN, let it go. Everybody else, stop talking about it. It's done. And American government, quit staring at Canada. It's only a distraction. Common sense, people. That's what we need to have around here. Common frickin' sense. Well, the idiocy and stupidity aren't going anywhere, and they'll certainly be here when we come back from this next commercial break. I'll see you back in 2.
You're listening to Crash Talk with Christopher John Taylor, a.k.a. Crash Jesus, on HTLA Radio 1, New York.
My family! He's got a gun!
Someone's breaking into your home. What do you do? Call 911? It takes the police an average of 35 minutes to respond to a 911 call. In that time, a burglar could have his way with your wife, smoke a cigarette, flip her over, and go in for seconds. Don't let the worst happen to you. It is vital that you protect yourself. Do it the patriotic way.
That's right. Ammunition has all the equipment you need to protect your family from the evils of a liberal society. Fixed, mounted, and shoulder-held submachine guns, mortars, surface-to-air and all manner of heat-seeking missiles. And just in to celebrate the Gulf War, pink and blue tracer bullets so you can protect your family in the dark. Start the week off right on Make My Day Mondays with 2-for-1 on main, strafe, and kill landmines. Got Gulf War syndrome? Get $10 off all machine gun rentals. Hey, if you love your family, prove it with a gun. Ammunition, protecting your rights.
You want your kids to be safe, so you give them a mobile phone. What are they going to do when they get attacked? Throw it at someone? Why not force the state to keep us all protected by arming everybody? The senile old lady in her home, the 3-year-old on the playground, the priest in his church. We think everybody should carry weapons at all times. That way nobody gets hurt. It's a proven fact. Where there's more guns, there are less shootings. Vote yes on Proposition 45. Mandatory concealed carry for everybody. The nuclear deterrent won the Cold War. Let's use the same logic and win the war on crime. Proposition 45. Teach your kids to protect themselves.
If only the world was less like this.
I could use a smoke.
Hey, put that out!
And more like this.
I could use a smoke.
You murderer! I might have children one day!
Smoking kills, unless you kill first. If you're around a smoker, you will die. Smokers may look relaxed and like they're having fun. Don't believe it. Vote yes on Proposition 421. Let's outlaw smoking everywhere, even in people's homes, and allow honest citizens to legally kill anyone who smokes. Let's live in a world without smokers. Prohibition works. Let's prove it. Let's move up the food chain. It's time to smoke the smokers. Vote yes on Proposition 421.
It was 9 a.m. The phone rang.
Commando Pest Eradication. You saw a bug on your child's apple? Code red, boys. We got a live one.
Your home, much like the rest of the world, is infested with unwanted vermin. Commando Pest Eradication will wage war on nature, so you don't have to.
Hello, ma'am.
Thank God you're here! I saw a bug in the kitchen!
You did the right thing, ma'am. We'll take it from here. Everything's gonna be okay.
Commando Pest Eradication uses only the most lethal chemicals to rid your home of unwanted life. Our team is composed of military-trained professionals that know how to take care of a messy situation fast. After successfully defoliating Vietnam, we've turned our attention to the home front. Your home front.
We've got the situation in the kitchen contained, sir. But I found this. Jesus, what the hell is this?
That's my daughter!
Looks more like Viet Cong to me.
Commando Pest Eradication. We kill everything in sight, so you feel safer. It's the war on nature, and this time, we're winning.
Now, the man who who is just permanently banned from Facebook because of his opinion, we give you Crash Jesus!
Too loud, man. Too loud. Yes, there he is. Crash Jesus. That's just so damn cool. Ha ha! Yeah. Well, my final segment tonight isn't damn cool, and it is continuing on the level of stupidity. The level of stupidity of the people who listen to the news. Or the real news. And that's not to say that I'm going to sit here and say that, oh, well, you know, if you listen to this bastardized news program on this podcast or some other thing, that's right too. No, because at least the mainstream media has gone to journalism school. Yeah. Oh, I found my drum. Oh, yeah. All right, Mr. Harper, you can stop now. Yeah. I wasn't going to do this again. I did it when it first came out. We did an Ebola thing. Okay, we did an Ebola special on Straight Talk. Yeah, it was very clear there on Straight Talk 3 weeks ago or so. Did that, took care of that, and Bob's your uncle. And then, you know, every, I don't know, a little tidbit in the show here or there in the last couple of weeks, I've touched on it quickly, just about, wow, have you heard the latest stupidity about it? But here we are again, and I'm going to do, I don't know, a segment. Yes, stuck on a segment of frickin' Ebola again. Yeah. You know why? I'll tell you why. It's the end of days, apparently, according to the New York Times, USA Today, CNN, and just about anybody else you listen to nowadays. Of course, the big three, ABC, CBS, and NBC, they're all, bring out your dead. Bring out your dead.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yeah, well, now the big news. Yes, the big news. It's done it. You know, we thought we had a problem with Ebola when there was a case in Texas, and oh geez, somebody brought another case to Atlanta, and oh my God, there's one in Nebraska. We just knew it was a matter of time, didn't we, before it hit yours truly city, New York. Yes, that's the word now. Yes, 9:15 p.m. tonight. Wow, it's spreading so fast. I may not have any listeners. I might be the last man alive. No, I don't think so. Yes, Ebola has hit New York City. Yes. Just that tagline right there alone, that headline right there. Oh man, I can already see thousands of Ebola-stricken zombie people in downtown Manhattan just scraping and biting and tearing people's flesh. And yeah, because, you know, it's like Walking Dead, don't you know, or some stupid shit. Well, whatever. The way I look at it, the more you die from Ebola out there, the more cigarettes for me. That's right. And where's my drum? There we go. Thank you. No, getting back to the seriousness of this ludicrous report from USA Today. New York, 9:15 tonight. The first case of Ebola has arrived in New York City. Officials said a doctor who recently returned from West Africa was positive in preliminary test for the Ebola virus Thursday night. Back when we only had one dude in Texas, even the slack-jawed rednecks in Louisiana was saying, why they not closing the airports? Just saying, okay. So the slack-jawed rednecks in Louisiana are smarter than our government officials, clearly, because they haven't closed any airports. No, they keep flying more in. Yes. He was identified by the New York Times, Craig Spencer, by the New York Times as Craig Spencer. Thank you. Craig Spencer doesn't actually work for the New York Times. He's the Ebola victim who thought, hey, it'd be cool now. I got Ebola. I'll fly this into New York. Well, Craig didn't just fly home and go kick his feet up and watch TV. No, he went back to his job as a physician at the New York Presbyterian Hospital, because what better way to spread Ebola when you have to get it in people's orifices than to go back to work as a doctor at the New York Presbyterian Hospital? Yes, all those people who don't have very good health care, and I can lick all their orifices all day long and spread Ebola like there's no tomorrow, which is what USA wants you to believe. Yes. Anyway, he underwent tests for the Ebola virus at Bellevue Hospital, an actual credible hospital, after developing a fever and other symptoms earlier in the day. Now, keep in mind that it takes 3 weeks for this to incubate. Oh, boy! Let's trace this idiot's path for the last 3 weeks and see whose he's been licking. That was a joke, by the way. Thank you. Health officials are retracing his steps to determine who he may have come in contact with before and after showing symptoms. Well, it's probably hundreds of people. Spencer is on the staff at New York Presbyterian Hospital, which released a statement on Thursday night saying he has not been to work at our hospital and has not seen any patients at our hospital. Don't sue us. The patient returned to the United States within the past 21 days from one of the countries facing the Ebola outbreak, according to the New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation, which operates the public hospitals and clinics in the city. Meanwhile, New York City Health Department's team of disease detectives... I'm a disease detective. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Wow. Okay. They have begun tracing all of the patient's contacts to identify anyone who may be at potential risk. A spokesperson at Bellevue Hospital told USA Today hospital officials would not comment. Ha! I guess they're not expecting a lawsuit at that one. Officials tried to reassure city residents New York City is taking all the necessary precautions to ensure the health and safety of all New Yorkers. A statement posted on the New York City Health and Hospitals Corporation website says, the chances of the average New Yorker contracting Ebola are extremely slim because we don't even say hi to each other, let alone touch each other's orifices. Ebola is spread by directly touching the body or fluids of an infected person. You cannot be infected simply by being near someone who has Ebola, which is what I've been saying forever. But now here's the interesting thing about what I've been saying forever, which is, the facts. The CDC now themselves are saying that they are expecting 10,000 cases per week through the month of December to start popping up all over the country. Why are they expecting that exactly? Who's tongue-licking orifices that much? I ask you. Why would the CDC put that out there? Well, we're expecting 10,000 cases a month. Well, that's 40,000 cases by, New Year's. Oh, if we got some in New York, too, that should make for a heck of a ball drop. They start the 10 countdown, and by the time they get down to 1, everybody's dead. There you go. There's a movie script. Right there. It's coming. And CNN, a little behind the ball here, 10:20 p.m. tonight, after confirming test showed a patient tested positive for Ebola. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio said, quote, we want to state at the outset here there is no reason for New Yorkers to be alarmed. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who just finished a round of golf and pushing his new book, said that authorities are, quote, as ready as we could be for this circumstance. He noted that the situation in this state is different than what happened in Dallas. He said the governor in Texas did not leave the city as he is doing right now. Play runaway music here. I don't have any runaway music.
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, then you better load the runaway music next time I've got some governor running away from Ebola here. We had the advantage of learning from the Dallas experience, Cuomo said, and that's why I'm leaving the state. The governor said it is believed 4 people came in contact with the person. Oh, yeah. How many people do you know come in contact with 4 people in 3 weeks? Heck, most people don't even lick orifices 4 times in 3 weeks. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. The Ebola patient finished his work as a doctor in the West African country of Guinea on October 12th, left Africa 2 days later via Europe. So this doctor, down there to treat Ebola, well, if he's treating Ebola, you'd think he'd know a few things about it, gets it, brings it home. Is that a smart doctor? Huh? Is that using your brain?
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
I would use a lot of harsh language with that doctor. Yes, I absolutely would. He claims he had no symptoms throughout his journey, and immediately after arriving in the United States, said Basadou added he checked his temperature twice a day after returning to the United States. Oh, so he wasn't symptomatic, but he was expecting that the possibility could exist. Why would you come back into the country? Just checking.
I think it should be short and sweet.
I think his lifespan should be short and sweet. Doctors Without Borders physicians who recently returned to New York from West Africa have also tested positive for the virus, becoming the first diagnosed case in the city being Craig Spencer. Law enforcement official has briefed CNN. Yes, an hour and a half after he briefed everybody else. Yes. Okay, let's work something out here while we got some time together. You know, before you die of Ebola. Let's have a talk about this. For the next month, all of you listening to the show, even those of you around the world, you know, follow what I'm about to say to our American brethren here as kind of homage to living. Let's call it that. And, you know, what I want you to do for the next 4 weeks, not piss around with 21 days. No. You listen to Uncle Crash. Uncle Crash will get you through this. For the next 4 weeks, if every person hearing my voice does not, does not go licking anybody else's orifices, sticking their fingers in anybody else's orifices, mucous membranes or the like. Heck, don't even give your wife or husband a kiss. Don't do it. Nope. Just shake hands or something and then go wash your hands. For the next 4 weeks, that's all you've got to do to keep the world safe and the entire country from dying horrible, bleeding out of our orifices deaths. Just don't talk to each other. Don't kiss each other. Don't play with each other's things. Don't fumble around. Just don't. Keep a nice safe distance, 3 or 4 feet. That's all you got to do. That's it. Can you do that? I'm sure you can do that to stay the frick alive. You might be able to do that. Sure. Let's do that, shall we? 4 weeks. That's all. And then after the 4 weeks is up, I'll come back on my show on my Tuesday night, and I'll be like, okay, week 4, go ahead and start licking. Right? You can go back to doing what you're doing. Everything will be fine. There you go. The goal right now, apparently, from City Councilman Mark Levine, who represents the Doctors Manhattan neighborhood, said earlier, before the news broke of the doctor's positive test, the city health department workers were canvassing the area, distributing information on the disease. Interesting. Anybody else think that's interesting? Hello? Why would we be doing that way the hell up here in New York? I could see maybe if you're doing it in and around Dallas or Nebraska or Atlanta. Why New York? Before the doctor came here. Why did the doctor come here? He's a doctor. He knows about these things. He was treating for it in Ghana. As a further precaution, beginning today, the health department's team of disease detectives immediately began actively tracing all patients' contacts to identify anyone who may be at potential risk, the health department statement has said. The chances of the average New Yorker are extremely slim, because they don't talk to each other, never mind play with each other's orifices. I know, I already did that. It's just stupid. Are you with me? Yeah, hell yeah, we're with you, Crash. It's stupid. And it is stupid. And one of the more important reasons I think why it's stupid is because there's more important things that we should be worrying about. And no, I'm not talking about the upcoming elections in 2016, although that does border on a little more important. And it doesn't matter. get it yet? Well, how about the experts, the actual scientists who are stunned at how fast the oceans are warming? That might be a little more important. You know, day after tomorrow is much more likely than us all dying of Ebola. Yeah, even though they're doing their best to spread people with Ebola around major epicenters of population in the United States. Ooh, I wonder if it's a terrorist. Wait. Geez, holy crap. I just thought of it. It's a coordinated terrorist attack. That's what it is. They're not in Syria. They're operating out of Ghana. Oh, my God. Well, in news today, scientists are saying that the southern hemisphere oceans are warming at double the expected rate. A new study has just found this. This may explain why surface warming has slowed over the last decade and the oceans have absorbed the missing heat. Global ocean warming may be underestimated by as much as 24 to 55%, according to a new study. Published by the journal Nature Climate Change and carried out by researchers at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, the study sought to determine just how much we've underestimated long-term upper ocean warming given the scarcity of data collected on southern hemisphere ocean temperature increases. Quote, "It is likely that due to poor observational coverage, we just haven't been able to say definitively what the long-term rate of southern hemisphere ocean warming has been," said the study's lead author, Dr. Paul Durack. Twice as much ocean warming as expected. Durack and the other researchers use satellite data, which offers accurate assessments of sea level rise predictions based on published findings in northern hemisphere oceans and in a large suite of climate models. They discovered that not only has there been perhaps twice as much ocean warming as scientists had thought, but the upper layers of the world's oceans, the top 700 meters, or just under 2,300 feet, have been impacted the most by climate change. He says we continue to be stunned at how rapidly the ocean is warming. Even if we stopped all greenhouse gas emissions today, we would still have an ocean that is warmer than an ocean of 1950, and that heat commits us to warmer climate, Gill says. Extra heat means extra sea level rise, since warmer water is less dense, so a warmer ocean expands. The missing heat has gone into the oceans. According to Climate Central, the oceans have risen 8 inches in the Industrial Revolution and are predicted to rise another 2 to 7 feet by the end of the century. Oceans absorb 90% of the heat created by global warming from greenhouse gas emissions, so it has long been suspected that the slowdown of the increase of emissions was due to oceans absorbing excess man-made heat. This study goes a long way to showing that that is indeed the case. An important result of this paper is the demonstration that the oceans have continued to warm over the past decade at a rate consistent with estimates of Earth net energy imbalance, says Stephen Toole, a researcher at Australia's Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization. While the rate of increase in air surface temperatures slowed the last 10 to 15 years, the heat stored by the planet, which is heavily dominated by the oceans, has steadily increased as gashouse gases, I'm going all German there, have continued to rise. So here's the thing. The G7, the big global economic conference countries, they've said that by 2030 they will cut greenhouse gas emissions by 30%. And yes, I do have a drum for that. Too little, too late? Yeah, I'm thinking. And while it may not be as quick as Ebola, it's definitely still coming. So let's all think about that as we snuggle into our warm beds tonight. Well, gang, that is all the time I've got for you tonight. And I'd like to thank HTLA Radio 1 New York for as long as you're still here before the Ebola gets you. Thank you for having me on. I'd like to also thank Tim Hortons New York City for your 8 wonderful locations in the city. Go check them out. Everything there is good. Trust me, I'm Canadian. And I'd also like to thank, yes, your friends and mine. Yes, my friends too. Yes, at Ammu-Nation. That's right. You go get your apocalypse kit today, gang. We'll check you here next time.
HTLA Radio 1. You will lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. We will add your distinctiveness, your advertisers, and your sponsors to our own. Resistance is futile.